Above Svadhisthana is the third chakra, Manipura. It is located within the lumbar spine directly opposite the navel and is also related to the solar plexus and the digestive organs. Its sense is sight, and thus it is also associated with the eyes. Its element is fire, and it controls our willpower, digestive fire, and the ability to make things happen. It is the focus of samana, the integrating force. Manipura literally means city of gems. Manipura completes the lower triangle, the bottom three chakras being the foundation of human earthly existence, survival, procreation, and control. In regards to Kundalini, this chakra is very important in that Kundalini is born in Muladhara and cradled in Svadhisthana, and finally begins to truly awaken in Manipura. Whereas the first two chakras are ruled primarily by tamas, the energy of solidity and inertia, Manipura is ruled by rajas, the dynamic change and achievement of fire. When Manipura is functioning well, we feel energetic, focused, and capable, as if powered by a little sun. When Manipura is underdeveloped, it is like that sun has fizzled out into embers, and we are depressed, ill at ease, and uncommitted. Empowering Manipura and spurring Kundalini past this chakra is a huge accomplishment and bestows many gifts to the aspirant. Traditionally, the chakra is visualized as a 10-petaled golden yellow lotus, though some would say that the petals are dark like storm clouds. On each petal is a Sanskrit letter, written in a deep blue. Fum, dum, dum, num, tum, tum, dum, dum, num, and pum. The vrittis warn us to steer clear of sadness, spiritual ignorance, thirst, jealousy, treachery, shame, fear, disgust, delusion, and foolishness, if we are to fully harness our willpower. The yantra is a fiery red, downward-pointing triangle, the three svastika T-shaped projections, symbolizing both movement and the containment of this movement. The animal that resides here is the ram. Steadfast and determined, the ram can scale mountains that are insurmountable for other animals. It rushes in head first, do or die. This vibrant and determined energy is exactly what is necessary for the refinement of the ego. That rajastic energy is what allows for change to actually happen. Just as the digestive fire breaks down food and transmutes it into the physical cells of our bodies, so too does this energy digest mental and emotional input and transmute that power to all the faculties of the body as prana, or life force. When the prana is heightened in the body and then the mind focused to precision, the effect is magnified. The art and science of pranayama, breath control, allows for many skillful manipulations of this underlying mind-body connection. By taking conscious control of what is normally an unconscious bodily function, the willpower is focused and empowered, and any number of bodily functions may be intentionally manipulated. With regards to Manipura, the most effective breaths involve powerful navel, diaphragm, and solar plexus manipulation. In Breath of Fire, which we have begun to work with in previous chapters, we use a dynamic pumping of the navel to power the breath at a high intensity. And this ends up toning the nervous system and creating a lot of heat in the body. Just by sitting, you can work yourself into a sweat with the breath alone. The bandhas have been touched upon in previous chapters as well, and Manipura is well engaged with the application of Uddiyana bandha, particularly well when used in conjunction with the Jalandhara bandha and Mulad bandha, which forms Mahabandha, or the Great Lock. Uddiyana bandha is accomplished through the pulling of the navel in towards the spine and up towards the diaphragm. This will create negative pressure in the solar plexus, and the belly will suck up, revealing the ribcage quite clearly. When the breath is cultivated with Breath of Fire, for instance, for some time, then inhaled to full capacity, engaged in Mulad bandha and neck lock, held and tightened to your full capacity, then exhaled fully and engaged in Mahabandha, the downward flow of Apana in Muladhara is reversed and compelled to travel upwards through Svadhisthana and into Manipura, where it meets the descending prana from the throat and the heart. When prana, which is from the throat and the heart, and apana, which is from the lower chakras, unite, this is the goal of yoga. Now, the free flow of these energies can be interrupted by the granthis, or psychosomatic knots in the energy system, which we will speak of more in the coming chapters. But for now, simply understand that the artful manipulation of the breath will allow for the creation and regulation of energy which may be stored or set to task in any number of ways. The path of Raja Yoga, also called the royal path, is not centrally focused on body postures, but rather the postures of the mind. Through various self-affirmations and mental exercises, the will can become centered and focused in a way that defies the usual notion of a narcissist or someone with a big ego, which is actually all facade, just put up to obscure integral self-doubt and vulnerability. When the sense of self is centered in the I am, all the things, the sense perceptions in life are seen for what they truly are: peripheral, orbiting entities, projections of the I am. Control is now a matter of orchestrating aspects of your own self, as opposed to petty attempts at control, which often manifests in the vrittis we spoke of earlier, treachery, foolishness, delusion, and all that. When the will is focused to this degree, the mind is no longer twisted in the whirling waters of Svadhisthana. It is now condensed and purified by the fires of Manipura into a rarefied steel, adamantine. The will is unbreakable. Such a will is in control of the senses. And since the senses are how we determine reality, reality begins to mold to our own intention. It is said that the power of Manipura unleashed allows for the creation or destruction of worlds, and it is clear to see from history that power held by those swayed by their own personal desires and perhaps only extending out to their chosen group corrupts, and by putting up a wall and dividing some other from outside of the group, there's an enemy created. This kind of duplicity is the destructive type of ego. Manipura is best utilized with the understanding that we are all in this together. So when your individual will is aligned with the will of the communal, global, or cosmic will, beautiful things are possible. If it can be visualized, it can be achieved. This sort of focused consciousness is by no means easy to obtain, or sustain for that matter, especially in a culture that is designed to disempower the individual. But it is indeed possible, and perhaps even our truest nature. Doubt is the antithesis of willpower. The lower triangle, of which Manipura is the apex, is the earthy, and the upper triangle is the etheric or the cosmic, and it seems that that is a whole other dimension from the lower perspective. And it is really, until the realization, the balance, and integration is found in the heart chakra. When that balance is found, we operate with wisdom and logic, power and grace, mercy and strength. Manipura is the edge of something far grander, nobler than the usual world view. As each individual intensifies their own consciousness, the collective consciousness is further refined as well. In time, our society may indeed hit the tipping point and allow for far greater accomplishments and far greater health than we ever thought humanly possible. The bija for Manipura is Ram. It is also pronounced Rang. The R is rolled quite powerfully. R, 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 Ram, Ram, Rang. And the vibration is reminiscent of an engine revving. Rum, 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 rung, rung, rung. Really feel the bija vibrating in the belly as the navel pulls in on the exhale, glowing brightly like a raging fire or sun. Lightning can also be visualized, which the bija itself sort of resembles with that mighty downstroke. You may use this screen to meditate on for as long as you like. Try keeping the eyes opened and fixed at the center of the chakra for as long as you can, just to the edge of tears. Then, closing the eyes, try to focus on the after image, building your perception as detailed as you can until it fades away and you must open your eyes again. You can go back and forth like this for as long as you like, refining your inner vision and your focus with the eyes open. This is called Tritaka. You may use the bija as you like as well. When you are ready for the physical exercises, you go on to the next video, being sure to use a powerful navel-driven breath, and feel free to work up a bit of heat in the body. Sweat is optional, your choice. Some like to focus on detoxing through sweat, and some like to hold the heat into the body, not sweating so as to burn really hot on the inside. This could be used to torch the sanskaras and clear out the nadis within the body with that yoga fire.